Hello, my name is Amanda Hirschler, and I want to talk about the paper that I've done for my PS 690 course at Bellevue University in fulfillment of my master's degree. This paper is called Feminist Activity and the Impact on the Middle East. My main focus had to do with the focus on feminist activity as well as women's presence in the Middle East. It ended up getting divided into two different sectors of their professional and working life, as well as their personal and more social lives. Something that presented itself was activism, which looks a lot different in the Middle East than it would in the general Western feminist perspective. There's not going to be as much presence of these women, which is something that seems a bit more passive in their movements. But in their professional setting, women have had ways to move up through different career initiatives. This was especially seen in the United Arab Emirates, as by the studies of Mohammed Bahari, Ahmad al-Nassar, and Mohammed Parakandi. That was done in that area where these initiatives really helped them to get their career path going and women to get more into leadership roles. Women have also been able to move forward in personal areas. These are kind of considered personal results or little acts of resistance in their personal and private lives. This has been greatly studied by Musafir Asal. It's a lot about taking leisure things and making that personal and an enjoyment for themselves as those little acts of revolt. I went about examining the region to see kind of what these trends were, as well as examining surrounding regions or other areas where there has been feminist activity and an impact on them. I tried to parallel that to see kind of what the differences were and the similarities were. Another big important thing with the Middle East is that there's so many different states that not one prescription is going to be the perfect solution to any of these problems, which is really important to understand so that there is presence and there is activity going on, but it doesn't mean that every solution or every state is going to have a fix for it. What persists, though, is the nature and feeling of perseverance. This is especially seen in Iran and Saudi Arabia. There's more empowerment and more agency, which is very important. Hila Asghari and Catherine Sarikakis actually expanded on this with the use of social media and how this became another way to resist in an alternative space or an alternative place. This was really important as well in the Women to Drive campaign that took place in Saudi Arabia, which eventually did allow for women to get the right to drive, even though previously it's not that it wasn't given to them, but it was looked down upon highly, which included acts of violence against these women for setting out to drive, which has been able to change moving forward because of this. The use of social media has allowed for connectiveness and that personal empowerment as well as agency really to kind of get bigger. This connectiveness and empowerment is growing for women, and these revolts are prevalent even if they don't embody that everyone's out on the street type of nonviolent protest. It's happening more in this digital technical side. Social power and even entrepreneurship among women have allowed for more access in this fight. For equality, they've utilized their wasta, which is their personal social lives, how they can kind of connect through other people to get things, as well as resources because of their husbands. They've been able to get ahead both professionally and personally. And again, there's still going to be lots of areas for improvement. This is especially seen in Afghanistan, where because of cultural and religious norms, there's a lot of violence against women that is normalized, even if it has been outlawed. It's a lot harder for them to be able to get what's needed or get their message out that they're in trouble. So this is something that is going to need to change, something that's going to need to happen moving forward. But I want to thank you for listening. Please read more in my Feminist Activity and Impact on the Middle East to learn more about this entire topic. And I hope that you learned something for it and it's something that you really enjoyed. Thank you.